Hey guys, this is Oshi and this is going to be my new format for the first impression video. So what I did was, if you haven't seen the previous first impression walkthrough or deck check, I think I'm gonna call it something like that, the Mystical Medleys tarot from Liminal 11, then I reached out to Liminal 11, they graciously offered and sent me 2 decks. But I still paid for, value-added decks, and I'm only saying that so that you guys know that, it's not like I'm just getting free decks left and right. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like it's important to say. It's not, it's not a dig at them, obviously. I mean, I hope, because they sent me decks, for free. And not just that, but they were so nice because they replied to my email and they validated that, side in a way, because I reached out to pretty much everyone and they were like, "I'm not even gonna reply to you." So I already just appreciated that they replied, but then they sent me 2 decks, and this one I was kind of excited. The other one, the previous one, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. That was a pleasant surprise. So, and I only had the White Newman before, and I think with the Mystical Medley, I had the same problem with the guidebook, as in it's not very expensive on the artwork, which is, I think, I would like to ask them to release, even if it's a digital format, but release some sort of a an extra thing about why the artwork was done in a way that it was done, because I need to know that, honestly. Okay, so with this deck, I couldn't really do what I, set out in the previous one, because my idea was to pick out cards that I really like and pick out cards that I don't like that much, and then come back and revisit the whole deck later in the few months in review when I, work with the deck. I know how it reads, I know which decks I'm using it with and stuff like that. But in this case, I just love the artwork. I mean, look at that. It's one of my absolute favorite style of digital artwork. I just love it. I don't know enough about flowers to know if, I mean, I can recognize them, so it's not that, but the extra stuff that are in the cards, I have no idea if they are connecting to the herbs and trees and whatnot. So that was one of the things that why I was hesitant, and I decided I don't need this deck, because I'm like, okay, when I get something like this, like the birch, I'm not gonna get anything out of this just by using the deck. I need to work with the guidebook, but you never know how good is the guidebook, because usually we don't really talk about guidebooks in the first impression. So, but I still wanted to pull out 2 cards before I start talking about the 2 guidebooks that we have. So there's the Seed, and that's the only card pretty much that I don't like, and the reason being is because this is not a seed. This is already, I don't know the English name for it, but this is already a little plant with leaves and whatnot. So this is not the first step. It's not the actual seed. So pretty much that's my only card that I was like, okay, I don't really like that one. And I was like, I want to pull a favorite, and I love tulips. These are my favorite flowers, and I just love the colors, and I just love this. So this is my favorite card for now. But I really like how there's 4 seasons in this deck, and besides being numbered, and now I know how important is numbering, because I didn't number my own oracles, because I was like, it's in alphabetical order, it's gonna be easy to find it, but who the hell has time to go through and then just remember which like finding the correct page. It still takes more time than numbering it. So I'm going to modify my own decks and add numbers for sure. So yeah, I do appreciate that. And at first I didn't realize that. I was like, okay, but how do I know which season is which? I was like, at first I thought that the borders are because there are some different colors, and of course I can't show you any because they all look the same currently, but I swear there were different type of borders. For example, this is more on the yellow side, but then I realized that nope, the borders are not it. And then I realized, because after a while the obvious hits you in the face, that the little leaves, or in this case flowers, next to the number is indicating which season we're talking about. So I think until number 40, no, that's already something else. So up until number 12 is spring, and then we have, it should be like summer, or maybe not. Okay, so we're not gonna do what I'm doing right now, like guessing. We're gonna check one of the guidebooks. So spring, okay, spring, summer, I was like, are we going in a weird way? And then fall and winter. So these are the spring cards, and I'm not showing all the cards. I flipped through so you can, check them. These are the backs. You can check them more in depth, but there are color saturation, I would say, difference. These are, I love this. This hawthorn is so rich and summery for me. And then here are the fall, the autumnal colors. And look at those mushrooms. Aren't they just beautiful? So we have, more of the browns and the warmer colors. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. And then obviously as soon as we change to the little snowflake, we have more in the cooler, but not necessarily just cooler colors, because the citrus is warm, but it's still cool in a way. So these are the winter cards. So you can clearly see, and the last one is the sickle. But why this deck is actually quite interesting, and you need to use the guidebooks. So this is no way around it, unless you scribble a lot of keywords on the cards. But why would you do that? And the idea, we have the dawn and the dusk guidebook, because this deck can be read in two ways. And okay, so in the dawn readings of the cards, Inkwright captures the energy of the English saying, "A rolling stone gathers no moss." These readings are for movement, change, and new beginnings, an outward projected energy. Familiar plants have new meaning in the first ray of the sun, and the cards teach lessons about growth, productivity, and not letting moss encumber you. Take a deep breath, focus on what you'd like to ask the cards, and let nature guide you. So, and Yoshi Yoshitani wrote the foreword, who created the Tarot of the Divine, which is quite interesting. In a cool way. And in the dusk, it's a Japanese saying, "Korogaru ishi ni koke musazu." I never know. Korogaru ishi. I know that's ishi. Ishi ni koge musazu. I'm sorry if it's not how it says. A rolling stone gather no moss. Oh, it's the same. Interesting. I thought that the saying was something else, but okay. So the wording is the same as the English saying. In Japanese, its meaning is the exact opposite. That's interesting. I like that. I didn't read that because I kind of just checked what the two meanings mean, which was a very interesting sentence. But so the plants have a new meaning in the dim of light of the rising moon. The cards teach lessons about recovery, mindfulness, and letting the moss grow peacefully. Take a deep breath, focus on what you'd like to ask the cards, and let nature guide you. So the first one is how you not get stuck and grow and expand and move forward. And the other is how to slow down and allow things to happen for you. At least that's how at first glance I would read. And it's really is how they set up the whole thing is you decide before you're doing the reading which type of questions you're asking, and then you use the guidebook. But I kind of don't like doing that, I know. So what I'm going to do is pretty much make a big cheat sheet or notes, and I will add both meaning to that sheet, because how I like to do readings is just, I'm more of a, this is my problem, tell me what what I can do, tell me, give me advice type of readings. And I don't want to limit myself in a direction, not because it's a bad thing, but I know myself and Murphy is always around, so I would like to not limit myself. So I will be creating one big, like I said, cheat sheet or just note with all the possible meanings. And I will know in that context of a reading which one I need to hear about. But you do whatever you want to do. The guidebooks are really pretty. I mean, look at those. I love the illustration style, like I said, so I absolutely love that. That's why I was like, what is this deck when I first saw it? But then I was like, but I don't know anything about, you know, flowers. So pulling a card like Wisteria, all I think about is the Wisteria Lane in the TV show that I can't remember right now. So that's not good. And it's not a lazy deck for sure. But okay, the Korean legend of Dong Namu tells two sisters who were both in love with the same man. Okay, if it's a big legend, I should have known about it, but I can't remember anymore. Okay, I don't remember. I mean, I majored in Korean, that's why I'm like, I should know. But the Korean legend of Dongnamu tells of two sisters who were both unknowingly in love with the same man. So unknowingly, oh man, that sucks. When they discovered each other sneaking into the same tent one night, they chose to continue to love each other rather than fight away. That's nice. I mean, you're sisters. Nothing that is truly worth achieving can be won alone. Oh, I like that. And some things are not worth jeopardizing important relationships for. Also awesome. I like, these are absolutely my values. So relying on others can seem like a loss of independence, but together you can grow stronger than you would on your own. And I really appreciate that. It's just a complete side note. In spiritual communities, the one that I'm in, that we really want to help other people to we promote other people's decks, we try to promote other people's channels. We're not a bunch who's like, oh, I'm not talking about them because they're gonna have more following than me, and they're like, well, who cares? Like, honestly, if anybody creates anything, I'm more than happy to share it on my channel, because I do feel like sharing is caring in a very, very beautiful way. And I don't sign up for the, we're in a race and we need to, take over and then and just fight and be the first, because then you're gonna be on that mountain alone, and that's just sucks. So I'd rather sign up for something like this. So I love that was the one that I read. But I'm gonna do find the card, because why not, and read the other meaning. And did I check the number? Of course not. Oh, it's 4, which is the number of angels, as I heard recently. So interesting. Okay, so we had, that was the down guidebook meaning. Let's check. Okay, does it look different? I mean, just the colors. I mean, here we have a moon here and the sun over there. So Wisterian, this one, and this is the where you have to let moss grow. I like that. Wisteria are slow to set out their leaves in spring, waiting until the weather is perfect before jumping to life. Drawing this card is a reminder to trust your instincts and listen to your inner voice before making a decision. There is power in stillness and in waiting. It may feel like others are rushing ahead in their endeavors, but you will know when the time is right for you to act. I kind of like that. I mean, I was curious, how do you, and you can read both if you were unable to understand me. It happens. And I'm still sick, which is fun. So I kind of like that both meanings have that working with others and our relationship and all. What is that? Kind of looking at things. relationship connection. Yeah, that's the word that I was actually trying to say. So I do think that this is a great deck. I do think you have to work with it. I do think it's not gonna be, if you're those kind of readers who are, because I saw that happening, unfortunately, that some readers are, I think, embarrassed to pull out a guidebook in a reading when they do it on live or in video, because there's this notion that you have to know everything by heart immediately, and I don't understand why. You're not gonna get, you're not gonna be less of a reader if you take the time and actually study what you have. So I think, I would encourage everyone, if you're not sure, you have an inkling of what the meaning is, but you have that little voice telling you to check the meaning. You should check the meaning, and I appreciate when bigger readers do that too, because I think that's a positive example. So, like I said, I really like this deck aesthetically, and I'm very, very happy, and I'm glad, and I'm grateful for Liminal 11 for sending this to me, because I don't think I would have bought it, because I would have just wrote off this deck as in, oh, I can't use it because there are no keywords on the card, so I don't know anything about the flower, and I'm not saying that necessarily you're gonna learn. Oh, I love citrus. A lot from or about the plants from this deck, but I think it can be a good enough starting point, like the other one. Like, am I the only one who thinks about the other one? I don't think so. But yeah, I absolutely love the art style. And I don't know, the other thing that, with Wisteria, there wasn't anything extra on the card. So let's see, Dandelion, if it's the same style. Because we have a crown. Okay, so you can read it as well. I don't see why the crown is there, which in this one, this was the dusk, so... Oh, please don't be like that. Like you're not explaining that. Ah, it's the same. It's not explaining why the extra stuff is on the cards. I don't like that. I don't understand why. I mean, especially with 2 guidebooks, there was, there is space to explain. Please explain. This is very important for me. I love knowing why there is a crown here, because that must matter. Like the thread here, or the palm there. I can, make up meaning for this one. But there was another, like the birch was starting with the thread as well. So, and that looked like the red thread that connects us all. And we have another crown here. Oh, I'm kind of sad, actually. I was kind of hopeful. Because Rowan berries are for protection, right? So, it could be that it's just aesthetic, which is fine. But then just, include one sentence in the guidebook that, hey, anything extra on the cards are just for aesthetic or something like that. So people like me are going to be like, oh, okay. Because if not, I'm going to be looking for the meanings, the extra meanings that I don't see. But this was just the first impression, so we will see how it turns out in the long run. Maybe if I, get more into studying these herbs and fruits and trees and whatever, nature, I will know why there's a connection. So that could be just that, which is great. I mean, I hope so. Or not, and then we will see that. But yeah, we will see that in a few months, hopefully. Fingers crossed for a lot of things these days. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and hope this was useful. Please do let me know if this news format is more useful than the previous one. Thank you. Bye.